Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. For today's video I'm doing quite a chilled, relaxed, just a really chatty video, and that is because I wanted to sit down and talk about how I'm finding sixth form so far. Now this is a little bit spontaneous. It's Thursday night, I've not long got in from sixth form. It's currently October 12th. I started sixth form on, I think it was the 5th of September. However, that first week, I think that was a Tuesday or Wednesday, that first week was an induction week, so we didn't actually start lessons until the week after. So it's pretty much been exactly 4 weeks, maybe a bit less, maybe a bit more. But yeah, it's pretty much been 4 weeks since we started sixth form. So I want to sit down and chat to you about how I'm finding it so far. Just, yeah, general sixth formness video, because that makes so much sense. The reason I say this is a bit spontaneous, I've planned to do this for ages, but I didn't intend to do it yet. I wanted to do it more around December time when I had a bit more of a view on it. I had a bit more to say, because obviously I would have been there for longer. However, I don't know why, I just felt like I wanted to do one of these now. Obviously what I'm about to say is only reflective of the first month, because that's all I've done, that's all I can talk about, and I know it's probably gonna get harder. I will make sure though to do another one of these videos again in about December time, because then I would have been there for about 3 months ish, around the 3-month mark, and then that'll be an even better view. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on that. How cringe, plugging my channel in the first couple minutes. For any of you who don't know, I took maths, further maths, English literature and textiles as my 4 A-level subjects. But my sixth form you generally take 4 and then drop 1 at the end of the first year, so you just have an AS level in that subject. So first thing is obviously the change from GCSE to A-level. I remember when I was in year 11 and I was kind of starting my revision and everything, and I was terrified. Like, I knew I was going to go to sixth form, that was where I wanted to go, that was what I wanted to do. I wanted to do my A-levels, but what terrified was me was the amount of revision kind of YouTubers, just general YouTubers who spoke about their A-levels, and there was like, oh my god, the jump from GCSE to A-level is so big, it's so scary, and all the rest of it. Everyone was always going on about this big jump, and it was scaring the heck out of me. If you're in year 11, year 10 or whatever year and you're scared about this jump, please don't be. I was worried for ages over nothing. Like, this jump wasn't that bad. It's not like, oh my gosh, first day of sixth form, I can't cope. It's so different. It is different. It's not bad. It's not like really dramatic or anything. Like, looking back, I shouldn't have worried about it. There is a jump, but it's really not that bad. I think it was kind of over exaggerated a little bit. People were always saying like GCSEs are hard, but A-levels are so much harder. And I was like, oh my god, I'm terrified. Of course A-levels are harder. They're like a higher level of education. They're gonna be harder. But don't be scared by this whole thing. Like, you just get used to it. You just kind of go with the flow, and it just all settles in and kind of happens. Like, take it day by day almost. Next, on to the workload. I don't think I was prepared for this. It's insane. Just compared to GCSE, the workload is so different. Obviously I'm not doing revision and stuff yet. I'm making notes in some of my subjects, kind of. I'll speak about that later. I'm gonna like speak about each subject later on, but the amount of work is insane, and the only thing that I'm really speaking about that from is maths. I don't find the amount of work insane for English literature or textiles. I find that like completely manageable. It's not that different, kind of. But maths, obviously I have 8 maths lessons a week. That's a lot. At GCSE I had 4 maths lessons a week. I have 8 maths lessons a week. It's insane. Like, we get set homework after every lesson. There's obviously only 5 days in a week, so most days we have maths twice. So to get 2 pieces of maths homework a day, it's a lot to deal with. And some of them, I've been explaining this in my weekly vlog. If you want to see like how I'm finding sixth form, at the minute I'm literally weekly vlogging, so you can see like each of my weeks. I show you the work that I'm doing, I just talk about it loads. Yeah, so if you're interested in that, make sure you check out my weekly vlogs. I'm on about week 4 or 5 at the minute. But like I was saying, for maths, I'm literally getting so much work, and I've spoke about this in my weekly vlogs. Some of these homeworks are taking me like, some of them took me 2 hours, some of them take me an hour and a half. It's a lot to cope with, and that's the only thing I'm getting like stressed over at the minute. Is it's like, oh, I've got so much maths work and I don't know where to start with it all. Plus I have 3 maths teachers. I'm not sure if they always talk about the fact they've all set homework. I think there's about 8 of us in my maths class ish, maybe 10, that literally like we're all like, oh my gosh, we've got so much maths homework to do. But we usually will tell the teacher, and then they might like give us a longer date to hand it in by. And as well for like English literature, there's a lot of kind of, you have to do studying around the subject, like reading critical essays and stuff. we've only been here a month, so we've not really done too much of that yet. That will definitely kick in after we finished reading the text. However, a good thing about that is the thing that minimises that kind of stress a lot is the amount of frees you get. I think I get 12 frees a fortnight. Because of my textiles clashing situation with maths, I think I had like 12 frees one week, 10 frees another week. We have a lot of frees is what I'm trying to tell you. I honestly thought there was gonna have like 3 frees a week or something like really pathetic. We don't. We have a lot of frees, and that makes it so much easier. We also have a thing where every other Friday we finish at 1:15, and that is like a godsend. That is so nice. You just know, like, Friday feeling, go home early. That's really good. I spend every single one of my frees working. I've never spent one where I haven't worked. Our school allows us to have 2 free frees a week, as in you have 2 frees a week where you don't do anything, like you're allowed to chill out. I don't do that. I do work in all my frees. I don't really see the point in that, because I'm just gonna have to do that at home if I don't do it in my frees. So I might as well just do it in my frees instead of sitting about doing nothing for 2 hours a week. So make sure you use your frees wisely, because you only have so many. You might as well, because otherwise that way you're just gonna end up doing it at home anyway. So you might as well do it while you're in school. We have like a common room, so that's where everyone can go. People do work in there. We then have like a study room. Again, people do work in there. But then we have like a silent study area. So like they've just loads of computers and you'll sit in there in silence. You're not allowed phones or anything. That is what I always go to, the silent study area. Honestly, in all the other places, people are talking, it's loud, which is totally fine. But I can't concentrate and I do get distracted. But like people just sit in there on their own. Most of the time people don't go with friends. Usually I'm with Rachel, which is really nice because we have so many frees together. And we both go in there and we do not talk, we just do the work, and it's so good and it makes you feel so much better at the end of it. Obviously with that comes a lot of independence. You're given this independence, like the teachers don't care if you do the homework or not, essentially. Both my English teachers, for example, one of them like blatantly pointed this out to us. They don't check if they do our homework. They set us homework, they never check it, they never look at it. You could get away without doing it, they wouldn't know. But if they, at the end of like every half term, maybe if they've noticed you really haven't been doing that much work, they will speak to you about it, but they're not gonna be like, do this work, we're gonna put you into detention. Detentions don't exist in sixth form. Stuff like that doesn't exist. If you're not doing the work, eventually they will just kick you out. It's down to you. If you want the A-levels that bad, if you want to get good grades, you'll work for it. So the independence is definitely there in your frees, within homework, even in lessons. Teachers, if they have jobs to do, they don't sit there, like, they don't stand there teaching the whole lesson. They'll teach you the topic maybe and then set you some work. Then they might go off and run errands that they have to do, and they do emails and they mark books and stuff. Like, they use sixth form lessons as a free almost for them, because it gives them the opportunity to do work. There is so much independence, and as well, if you don't understand something, you can so easily get away with it. Like, whereas before at GCSE, I think teachers will kind of notice if you weren't understanding it through when they're marking your work and that. It's not really like that at A-level. If you don't understand it, like, you've got to ask, because otherwise you're just gonna end up getting to the end of A-level, which you're gonna be revising, and there's gonna be so much stuff you don't get and you'll really regret it. So like, all the time I'm like, I don't get this, I don't get this. That's just kind of what you have to do. At first I really hated that. Like, I hated the fact that none of our work got marked, because there was almost like this sense of like achievement when you would hand in a piece of homework and it would come back and it would be all marked. Kind of at first I was a bit like, oh, I really hate this. But then after a while, like after a week or so, I completely got used to it and I understood like straight away. It's like, it's down to you. If you want to do it, you do it. If you really don't want to do it, don't do it, but it's going to affect your grade at the end of it. In my subjects, there isn't much like note making yet. I'm definitely going to be like making my notes for revision as I go along. But I've done a couple for English, I've done a couple for maths, and I know that seems a bit weird, like, why would you make notes for maths? But like on formulas and stuff like that, and how to do certain things, or just, you know, bits I might forget. Sixth form is so different. Like, where we all sit at lunch in the common room, our friendship group's completely changed. Everyone's friendship group has completely changed. Obviously, all had a group of friends already that we knew, but there was loads of new people that we met. It's really different. We all listen to music at lunch on like the speakers they use for the presentations. Like, the teachers are totally fine with that. The teachers are so much more relaxed. It's like such a different vibe within the sixth form. But so far, like, generally I'm really enjoying it. I'm loving it so much more than GCSE. And to be honest, like, by the time I got to year 11, I quite liked school. I learned to love it, because the way I saw it was, I don't have a choice, I have to go to school. So I might as well go and enjoy it. I might as well make the most of that opportunity. So I feel like that's kind of general, like the general gist of it. I'm going to go on to talk about each of my subjects. I'm going to start with maths because maths is the one I get the most questions on. Just really going to quickly explain. The way we're doing maths and further maths is that in this first year, we obviously have double the amount of maths lessons as a single maths student would have, because we're double maths students. So yeah, we have double the amount of lessons. So what we're doing is we're doing the full A level of maths in this year, and then we're doing the full A level of further maths in the next year. I won't finish this year with an AS level. I'll finish it with a full A level, hopefully, if it all goes to plan. So yeah, with maths, like I've already said, the workload is intense. Like, it's crazy. We've already done a C1 paper, which is chapter 1. We've learnt the whole of C1. We've learnt about half of D1, and we're starting C2 this week. Like, we've just started it. So yeah, we've done our first C1 practice paper, like a mock paper almost, in class. If by the time this goes up, I know what I got, hopefully if it's good as well, I will put it in this video. I've taken 50-50. 2 of the subjects I've taken I love. 2 of them, obviously the maths. I don't hate maths. Like, I don't dislike it, but I also don't love it, if that makes sense. Like, it's okay. I'm not naturally good at it. I'm not naturally that smart. Or if the camera angles just changed, my camera battery died. But yeah, I'm not naturally gifted with intelligence. I do have to kind of work for it. Like, I'm not, yeah. But yeah, what I'm trying to say is, like, I don't hate it, but I don't love it. Yeah, it's okay so far. It's not too hard, but I know it will get harder. It's definitely challenging us still. But yeah, it's like the chapters aren't that bad. It's not too hard. It's just getting used to it, getting it in your head. And like I said, we have learned it in such a short space of time, so it is a lot to take in. It does feel like that, especially with English literature. So English, I love it, but it does feel like there's a lot to take in and a lot to learn. We obviously have quite a bit of time to do it, but it does feel a bit overwhelming, especially, I don't know, I feel like the Shakespeare, but that's just because I'm not as confident at Shakespeare. My first English lesson, I kind of went home and cried because I was really looking forward to it, and I love English. I loved it as of like halfway through GCSE, halfway through year 11, when I got a new teacher, and I realised how much I loved it still, just because the teacher I had before then wasn't a very good one. And it made me just not really like English that much. But I fell in love with English again. So when I went into my first A-level lesson, I don't know why, it was just really different to how I thought it was going to be. I found it a bit like overwhelming and a bit, I just didn't like it. And I was like, oh gosh, fully freaked out over it. Just wasn't, no. I know it's hard to judge it on one lesson. I don't know why, it just felt so different. Didn't like the idea of it, I don't know. Wasn't feeling it. Hated it. Like I said, I came home and literally cried. I was like, oh my god, I hate it. I'm enjoying it a lot more. I don't know what changed. I think I've just got used to the difference between GCSE and A-level English literature. Like I said, I can't sit here and tell you like this and this is different, because I don't really know what is. It just felt different, like, to me. I weren't really loving it, but I am starting to really enjoy it now. Textiles is so different at A-level. GCSE, it was literally like you had a list of do this page, this page, this page, and like all your coursework. You literally had a like bullet point list of everything that had to go in it. Now you don't have a list. It's very independent compared to how it was before, but I don't know if I'm finding it different as well, because I'm not actually in textiles lessons like with the rest of my textiles class. I go to textiles, literally I'm on my own in textiles. I do it just me and my teacher, because it clashed with further maths. It meant I couldn't actually go to my textiles lessons. So yeah, I do have textiles like written on my timetable, but it's within my free periods and my teacher's free periods, kind of. So yeah, that's why I have so many frees a week. I literally have 12 frees one week and 10 the other, like I said, but 4 of them each week are textiles free periods, if that makes sense. So I do textiles in them ones. But yeah, I am enjoying it. I feel very stressed out because we're doing a mini project from now until January. I honestly don't think we're going to finish it in time, which is fine because it's just a practice. Sorry that it's got really dark as well. It's getting like later. The sun's gone down. There is no AS level in textiles. So because there's no AS level, it means we have from January all the way through till summer, not like 2018, summer 2019, to do our actual A levels. So yeah, the way she's just doing this mini project basically so that any mistakes we make now and not next time, and next time we'll know what we're doing a bit more, because we would have done it before, even though it's like in a condensed version. It is my favourite subject, always has been, always will be, I think. The workload is a lot more. Like the workload I'm doing now compared to the workload I was doing this time last year is literally like I can't even explain how different it is. But don't be put off by that. If you're in year 11 and you're like, oh gosh, I'm so scared, don't be. Honestly, like, that's not worth being scared over. It's getting really dark and the colour on this has gone kind of weird, so I do apologise. So I'm going to wrap this video up here. If you have any other questions, let me know. Like I said, check out my weekly vlogs. Subscribe if you want to see them, because I do talk about sixth form in that a lot. I feel like I've spoke about everything. Might have forgotten a few things, but stick around because I will do another one of these in about December time. And obviously I will have like a lot more knowledge on A-levels then. Everyone who's already in year 13 is probably laughing at me right now, being like, oh my gosh, did you wait till it gets hard? Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you again in my next video. Bye.